Hey everyone, RemanX here with a mini I told you so. We had a warning that went out that said, hey guys, it definitely feels like the game is going to be appealing to a wider roster. Well, we got confirmation today, and let's talk about it because it's going to be important. And just from the sneak preview, and again, it's not arriving until sometime next patch most likely, are the Doom raids. And before you feel all doom and gloom, know that it's going to basically take a look at your current strengths, which for everybody's probably bio, because of how good the symbiotes are. Partly part of that's my fault. They're pretty hyped myself. I kind of went all out and, you know, I've been upgrading them, ISO 5s, whatever. But realistically, that's where these new Axmen are going to shine. So let's go right into it. So most of you guys probably have a symbiote team that sits near the top of your rosters from either upgrade credits and the likes. It has been probably where you spent a little bit of your time and focus and energy. So you probably look something like this. But why are we talking about that specifically? Well, if you've been under a rock somewhere, you may have missed the hype that was the Friday blog release, which showcased the Axmen, which is a whole nother video coming down the series here. But we're going to talk right now about the Doom raids. So the challenge here, and we're going to talk about what specifically it says here, because we hope it holds up. The new raid will put your alliance and entire roster to the test. The Doom raid lanes will feature a set order of trait requirements from bio to skill to tech to mystic to mutant, which means they will scale and change based on the lane, so you can, you know, if your roster is loaded more towards the mutant category, I don't know, maybe that's me, the mutant category, you're gonna be able to go to that lane and have the mutants for the end game, right? Because those challenges at the end are always how it scales. So we've been hypothesizing what that will look like, and we always know that the raids are geared typically towards something that's coming out next. So we all know that G15 is here, okay? And it's here to stay, and it's currently one of the biggest bottlenecks in the game. Ouch. I keep hitting my head on that ceiling. And more importantly, ISOs, right? So G15 ISOs and level 80, obviously those go hand in hand, but we know that spring is upon us, so why not give us a raid that showcases ISOs and lets us know we're going to need to upgrade more. And we've seen that happening with a brand new offer that just hit our store that lets you buy level 3 ISOs. If that's a thing, we're going to have to get ready, because the more your roster fills up, you're going to have to start looking at potentially level 2. And that means you're probably going to need to fill up level 1 if it stays with the linear gear scaling the way it is now. So stay tuned for that. So why is this so important? Why are we talking about it now? Well, we just were introduced to a raid team, and that raid team includes the Axmen. And so if you guys didn't get to take a chance to look at Strike Time, I'm going to have it here in the comments. But oh boy, is it chock full of information. But we're going to talk about a character that literally made me lose my mind, lose my hair, pull on my beard, just made me speechless. I know. The wife was like, can I get a replay of that later? And I was just like, just remind me of this kit, and I probably will shut up. That being said, here we go. Hero, a cosmic mutant. We've been talking about the cosmic mutants coming to the game, how they were missing, and boy, is this guy probably worth consideration. Even at high cost, he's probably worth consideration bringing in to Dark Dimension 4. But more importantly, he is the blaster tank that we didn't know we needed, but boy, oh boy, do I want him. And so let's go into it. This basic, basic scaling, absolutely incredible. We talked about the damage. Removing counter is a big deal, especially because of the fact that we know that in the current U7 raids, at the end of the raid, the Kree Royal Guard with the counter, boy, is that annoying at the end of the boss node. Well, I'm sure you guys have been there and know what I'm talking about. Please leave some comments if you do know how annoying that character is, especially when you leave 3 for the end. Not that I've ever done it. I do it every time. Retaliation Laser. 3 out of 3. Wow. Wow, wow. Just a bunch of damage, offense up. You know, 3 out of 3 low cooldowns. But that's not even close to where he shines. Oh, man. He's working with Jubilee, that 2-piece, and we're going to talk about that in a second. And then his ultimate. Well, Charge does 540% damage to the primary target and adjacent targets. And this is just stupid good. Because when you go into the depths of his kit and you look at his passive, he is symbiote Spider-Man level, blow your mind good. Because it is chock full of on effects here, guys. So the reason why we're going into this and we're talking about the wide roster is this very kit here may be the solution to some of the other problems we've had. Cough, cough, doom! On defense, this is going to be pretty interesting when we see this happening here. So, by the way, we're going to talk about the Axmen. They're definitely going to be taking advantage of summons and clones and the like. Potentially saying bye-bye to Marauders and hello to a new offensive team that may shine inside of war and help get you through some of your darkest days. All right. Speculation aside, wide roster is definitely a thing, and we're going to talk about it. So that's bio. You guys have the symbiotes. Well, we talk about one category. That's the next one is Mystic, and Mystic isn't terrible. You definitely have some good characters when you talk about the Thanos and Ebony Maw combination, and more importantly, we've got the skill coming up over here, and this is where we're gonna go. Wait, skill? I don't want to be in skill, but obviously we've got Black Widow, Hawkeye, Baron Zemo, Proxima, Killmonger, Red Guardian. But where we're missing is some sustain. Boy, was there ever a healer here? Oh, there she is. There's a healer that used to sustain the team. We'll have to see what happens there. All right. In the rest of the roster, not to round it out and not to leave them out, we're going to talk about the mutants. And obviously, I think if we don't recognize this team with the passive 20% on taunt damage reduction from the amazing Bishop, your mutant roster will showcase some really good characters, but rounding out a 2-piece will actually probably help you get through those challenges. And I think, roster aside, you're going to need to have a strong roster and find the right lane, work within your alliances. Alliances may need to restructure over this raid if the rewards are worth it. But I'm going to say this, Scopely, if you're watching, you got a track record. Your rewards typically, the juice isn't worth the squeeze right away. So we'll have to see. Because honestly, you can release this raid, then add a slider later, but we're going to be paying attention to the rewards, because right now the .3 raids, they're just they're worth it for maybe a raid season push here and there, but not really worth the final tier challenge. So yeah, we're going to go into that later. So let's take a look at the last piece of the puzzle, tech. Well, I think tech for a lot of us, we can probably say has some of the best support characters in the game. In fact, probably all of the support characters in the game. They definitely have some combination, some remnants of the past that will probably help us get through. So I'm not concerned about that for most rosters, but I will say the mutants are something that you will need. They are built in that team, especially featuring the farmability for Beast. You're going to need a wide roster to get things done. And we saw it. We've been prepped for it with RTA, because RTA has been basically hinting that the depths of our roster are important. And so we're seeing these 2-piece combos come to the game. The Dad Bros, Yelena, and the Red Guardian. But now, more importantly, just Bishop and Jubes together create a 2-piece for both Arena. All these other modes, I think they're going to be amazing. Stay tuned. I may wind up bringing Jubilee to the final portion of the Dark Dimension when I get that done. So you may say, what about all these bottlenecks? We're going to need to see what these rewards are at the end of these new Doom Raid. The new big bad has been revealed, so the Ultimus raids are officially gone. I know that some people have been asking about it. You can still run a U7.5 until your alliance may be ready to do this, but very, very clearly, be prepared for your roster, even at level 80, G15, and ISO level 5, to feel inadequate for this, because the spring is almost upon us, and they've hinted at what the next level of gearing will look like, and it is going to be locked behind the next tier of ISOs. So I fully expect it to be a thing, because they're actually featuring ISOs in this raid. So be ready for a brand new challenge, the likes we haven't seen in game before, and I'm excited to be able to bring you guys that content when it becomes available. Anyway, I do things so you don't have to. That's why I went wide on my roster. Check you soon. Love you much.